Okay, the very first question of today's test, history, ancient and medieval India. Yeah, first question. With reference to Buddhism, consider the following statements. With reference to Buddhism, consider the following statements. Buddhism does admit to the existence of Creator God, but not to the immortal soul. Women and agricultural slaves could not join Buddha's Sangha. Buddha recommended the eightfold path or Ashtangiga Marga for the elimination of the human misery. So we know that coming to ancient India, Buddhism, Jainism, one of the blockbuster module I would say, because continuously they ask questions from this Buddhism, Jainism part in ancient India, either in prelims or in mains they ask the questions. Okay, so here it is very much important to cover the teachings of Buddha or teachings in Buddhism, teachings in Buddhism or the ideologies, doctrines of Buddhism, Jainism, very much important for you. For example, coming to Buddhism, you know that, yes, what are the fundamental teachings of Buddhism? Just try to understand. Buddhism, Jainism, we know they are heterodox sect, Shramanic traditions. And when we say Jainism, Buddhism, Jainism does not accept the Creator God. Buddhism does not accept the Creator God, but Jainism does not deny the existence of God. Even though they reject Creator God, that does not deny the existence of God. But Buddhism is totally revolutionary approach here. Buddhism does not accept the Creator God and does not admit the existence of God also. That way it is totally revolutionary. So Buddhism has no faith in God and no faith in soul. No faith in God and no faith in soul. And there is no transmigration of the soul. Buddhism does not believe in this transmigration of the soul, and it does not believe in this immortal soul, and it believes in that law of impermanence. Law of impermanence. Okay, everything is transient. Everything is transient. Okay, so Buddhism is more or more a kind of a revolutionary heterodox religion. Does not accept God, does not believe in Creator God, does not believe in soul, does not believe in the transmigration of the soul. Okay, so that is the fundamental teachings of Buddhism. Here what they ask, Buddhism does admit to the existence of Creator God, not to the immortal soul. This you please try to understand. Both Buddhism and Jainism, they do not accept the Creator God idea. They do not accept and they have so much resemblance with that particular Samkhya school of philosophy also. Samkhya school of philosophy, you see that whether they accept the Creator God idea, whether they accept Creator God idea, no. Believes in that, universal law. So here also you see there is no belief in this particular Creator God, and Buddhism, you see that it does not believe in this immortal soul also, but Jainism does. So here your approach has to be like this. When you study Buddhism, Jainism, you must know the teachings, doctrines of Buddhism, Jainism, basic differences between Buddhism, Jainism, because revolving around these areas continuously they are asking questions here. Okay, the fundamental teachings of Buddhism, Jainism or Buddha Mahavira and the basic differences between this Buddhism, Jainism, very, very important for you. See the second one, women and agricultural slaves could not join Buddha's Sangha. You must understand that it was against that caste order. Am I right? Buddhism, Jainism, they were heterodox sect and they challenged this Brahmin priesthood, Brahmin supremacy, and it challenged that caste system. Shudras were the fourth division. They were mostly domestic servants or agricultural slaves. So can we say that Buddhism never accepted the fourth varnas? Yeah, it was already against the caste system. It was already against the Chaturvarna system. So the Sangha, the monastic order, accepted everyone. There is no discrimination here. There is no caste, creed, sex discrimination. It accepted everyone, admitted everyone. Okay, so that statement is incorrect. Buddha's recommended eightfold path or Ashtangiga Marga for elimination of human misery. So coming to this particular thing, coming to this particular salvation in Buddhism, this is elimination of human misery. Four noble truths in Buddhism, you remember? What are the four noble truths in Buddhism? Four noble truths in Buddhism. Three jewels in Jainism, you said it. That is right knowledge, right action, right faith, etc. Three jewels in Jainism. Three jewels in Buddhism. Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha. Now my question is, what are the four noble truths in Buddhism? World is full of sorrows. Reason for the sorrow is desire. To end this, sorrows, you must stop desiring. And in order to achieve that, you must follow middle path. You must follow middle path, eightfold path. Okay, so that fourth statement is correct. It recommended eightfold path for elimination of this human misery. So first statement is, that is technically incorrect. Second is incorrect. And fourth one is, third statement is correct only. So your answer has to be yes, one only, one only. So very simple here. The approach is very simple. You must know the basic teachings, basic ideas of Buddhism, Jainism, basic differences between Buddhism, Jainism. You must go for. Okay. So this is something, a common area where UPSC asked lots of questions previously. Now the second question: Harappan burial graves contain pottery and ornaments. So the question is like, when many of these Harappan sites, recently you might have seen. Yeah, just go for it. Just go for it. The question is, Harappan burial graves contain pottery and ornaments. Statement 2, they believed that these could be used in the afterlife. Recently, there was an excavation, archaeological excavation. Okay, you see a shell bangle, pottery fragments, non-knife, human skeleton remains, etc. identified is in a 16-hectare stretch in the borders of Khatia village in Gujarat, Kutch district. Recently, yes, in Gujarat, Kutch district, there was archaeological excavations in a 16-hectare land, where these things are identified. Shell bangles, pottery fragments, stone knives, human skeletal remains, etc. identified. And many Indus sites are there, where you can see burial sites are there. Cemetery, we studied Indus civilization. When you studied about the burial practices, different burial practices of Indus people also. There you have seen in the burial graves, some goods are also buried along with these dead bodies here. Okay, because they had that life after death belief or afterlife belief they had. Okay, Egyptian people had a belief, that the pyramid concept, mummy concepts. Here also you can see, maybe it is because of cultural exchanges. You see that here also there is Harappan burial graves contain pottery and ornaments, and one of the logic explanation to that is, yes, they believed in these life after death. They believed in life after death. So the concept is very simple. Whether Indus people had a faith in this life after death, obviously they had a faith in life after death. Whether Chalcolithic people, Neolithic people had a life after death belief? Come on, say. Neolithic people. Do you think this life after death belief, it evolved from Indus people, Indus civilization onwards, or it existed already? Already existed here. That is also very important. This way they can ask a question. Life after death belief in Indian context, it evolved from Indus civilization. That statement is technically incorrect, because Neolithic, when we go for these Neolithic settlements, Neolithic settlement excavations, Chalcolithic settlement excavations, you could see that there are practices of life after death. In their paintings also, you could see that there are paintings, of burials where this dead body buried along with this, their precious metals or maybe whatever the things they owned. Okay, so this life after death belief, it's already existed there. In the prehistoric paintings, you can see such paintings, connected with the life after death belief, or maybe certain excavations also proven that they had a life after death, pot burials, etc. proven that they had a life after death belief. So it is not something which started evolving from Indus. It already existed, but Indus people had this life after death belief. In their burial graves, you can see along with the dead body or skeletons, these ornaments, pottery, etc. being identified, and they believed it could be used in afterlife. Okay, so both are correct. Both these what is called the statement and its reason, both are correct. Okay, now we will go for, so your answer will be yes, that is statement 1, statement 2 are correct, and second statement is correct explanation of statement 1. Fine. Now question number 3. Yes, consider the following statements. Administrative structure of the Gupta Empire was very much centralized like Mauryas. Administrative structure of the Gupta Empire was very much centralized like Mauryas. This is something very basic logic here. You should understand that Mauryas administration was highly centralized. Gupta administration was highly decentralized here. It was highly decentralized, where you could see in the local level, Any transaction of the land, selling of the land, anything could be, done only with the consent of the village headman. Okay, and Gupta's time, you should also understand that there was land grant practices here. Land grant practices were there, and these land grants, later they were called samandas, or samanda system is the feudal chiefs. The feudal lords, they exercised military power, judicial power, revenue power, etc. Okay, see, these Guptas had a practice of land grants to various officers and private people, and those who get to these land grants, they enjoyed, exercised military power, revenue power, judicial power, etc. Okay, and this overlordship, claimed by these Gupta rulers also. That means they maintained many tributary rulers. They had many tributary rulers. For example, Samudragupta defeated many rulers and never killed and never destroyed them. They just, these the rulers who were defeated by Samudragupta, they were tributary states of Samudragupta. They had to accept this overlordship of Samudragupta. That means a feudal system existed there. What existed there? A feudal system. We know that land grant practices and this type of the practices resulting in this, decentralization, devolution of power, and Gupta administration is not centralized, it was decentralized. It was decentralized. Gupta age witnessed efficient judicial system with a clear demarcation of civil and criminal laws. When we discuss Fahin's accounts, you remember Fahin? Fahin is a Chinese Buddhist pilgrim, visited India during the reign of which Gupta ruler? Fahin. Yes, Chandragupta to Vikramaditya. It was during time of Vikramaditya, this Fahin visited India, and he had given a very elaborate account about this, administrative efficiency of Chandragupta, judicial administration, about the demarcation of his criminal laws and civil laws, etc. So, in fact, a very good judicial system existed there. Even it is identifiable with these foreigners' accounts also. Okay, so Gupta age witnessed efficient judicial system with a clear demarcation of civil criminal laws. That statement is correct. First statement is wrong, because there we know Mauryan administration, according to Arthashastra and various accounts, Mauryan administration was highly centralized. It was highly centralized. But coming to Gupta age, it was highly decentralized. It was highly decentralized. So your answer, 2 only is your answer. Okay, you see Gupta empire divided like a Bukti. Empire division is into provinces. Bukti divided into these, Vishayas. Bukti is ruled by provincial governor, Provincial governor, you see, Bukti provincial governor is Ubadiga. Provincial governor is Ubadiga. Then Buktis are divided into Vishayas. Okay, Vishaya headed by Vishayapadi, and village headman is more powerful in the local administration here. Any local transactions must be done with the consent of the village headman only. There was decentralization of power. Along with that, Allahabad pillar inscriptions talk about decentralization. It talks about Samanda system. Samandas are feudal chiefs. The power is, devolved. You see that feudal chiefs, they had power, military, judicial, revenue powers in their jurisdiction. Okay, it was decentralized. Gupta's, it was a decentralized administrative structure. Maurya's is centralized. Then coming to judiciary, theft and adultery, it fell under this criminal law. Then see, property disputes, it fell under these civil laws. It talks about the fundamental rights also. Currently, we have how many fundamental rights here? One is removed as per that the 44th Constitutional Amendment Act, and currently we have how many? 6. And what is that being removed? Right to property. It is no longer fundamental rights. No. So see, theft and adultery, criminal laws, which fell under criminal laws, and this, property disputes, it fell under the civil laws. So such things are discussed. Even the guild, merchants association, traders association, guild system was there. They also framed laws of their own. Okay, so judiciary was super fine here. Question number 4, with reference to the cultural history of India. Cultural history is again a favorite area for UPSC. Cultural history, so many questions they will ask here. See, following is the correct description of the term. So terminology is very important. With regard to cultural history of ancient India, medieval India, modern India, the terminology related questions are a favorite area of UPSC. Please try to understand. Here they asked Padi Vedagas. Sometimes, with the literary meaning, you can find the answer, right choice. Okay, so Padivedagas. Similar way, there are lots of the terms they asked previously. Some ancient cultural terms are there. You heard about this Sangrihitri? Sangrihitri is something related to later Vedic age. Later Vedic age. He is in charge of that tax collection. He is in charge of tax collection. Similar way, Vrajapadi, in charge of the pastoral lands. In charge of the pastoral lands during these later Vedic times. During later Vedic times, Shramana is, Shramana is Buddhism, Jainism, Shramana religion. Shramana means heterodox sect. Heterodox means unorthodox sect. That is Shramana. Then similar way, Anegandavada is the another term. You remember Anegandavada? What is Anegandavada? Yes, the multiple sideness of this truth and reality. It's a Jain philosophy, Jain school of philosophy, Anegandavada philosophy, Jain school of philosophy, where it says truth, reality must be judged from multiple point of views. Truth and reality must be judged from multiple point of views. Anegandavada philosophy, Shayadvada philosophy. So Buddhism, Jainism, different philosophies are also important for you. So here Anegandavada is a Jain philosophy. It says truth and reality must be judged from multiple point of views. Amatyas are higher officers in Amatyas. When you discussed Amatyas officers term, you can see in Mauryan administration, Gupta administration also. So they are higher civil servants here. Then similar way, Sannidatta, treasurer. Okay, so you see these are different in Mauryan administration. You've seen that. So these are different terms you can see in ancient times. So ഇവിടെ ഞാൻ പറയുന്നത് വെച്ചാല് നമുക്ക് ഈ പറയുന്ന ഇൻഡസ് സിവിലൈസേഷനുമായി ബന്ധപ്പെട്ട ടേംസ് ആയിക്കോട്ടെ, വേദിക് ഏജുമായി ബന്ധപ്പെട്ട ടേംസ് ആയിക്കോട്ടെ, മഹാജൻപദാസ് ബുദ്ധിസം ജൈനിസം റിലേറ്റഡ് ടേംസ് ആയിക്കോട്ടെ, മൗര്യൻ ഗുപ്തൻ ടേംസ് ആയിക്കോട്ടെ, ഓർ ദീസ് സംഘം ടേംസ് ആയിക്കോട്ടെ, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ഏർലി മീഡിയവൽ ഇന്ത്യൻ ടേംസ് ആയിക്കോട്ടെ, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ഈ പറയുന്ന ഡൽഹി സൽത്തനറ്റ് ആൻഡ് മുഗൾ ടേംസ് ആയിക്കോട്ടെ, ഇതൊക്കെ UPSCന്റെ വളരെ ഫേവറേറ്റ് ഏരിയാസ് ആണ്. ഒരുപാട് തവണ UPSC ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻസ് ചോദിച്ചിട്ടുണ്ട്. ഇപ്പോഴത്തെ ഒരു ട്രെൻഡ് എന്താണെന്ന് വെച്ചാല് 2011 മുമ്പുണ്ടായിരുന്ന പാറ്റേൺ ഓഫ് ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻസും ടോപ്പിക്സും വീണ്ടും വീണ്ടും റിപ്പീറ്റഡ്ലി ചോദിക്കുന്ന ഒരു ട്രെൻഡ് ഹിസ്റ്ററിയിൽ നമ്മൾ കാണുന്നുണ്ട്. ഓക്കെ, അപ്പൊ ഈ ടേംസ് ഒക്കെ കവർ ചെയ്യുന്നത് എപ്പോഴും സേഫ് ആയിരിക്കും. നിങ്ങൾ കൈവിടിയരുത് ആ പോർഷൻസ്. സോ ദ ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻ ഈസ് ലൈക്ക് these Padivedagas, with reference to the cultural history of ancient India, they are reporters employed by Ashoka to report on the affairs of the people. So just to see, Ashoka is known for his good governance principles, okay, about his Dhamma philosophy or Dhamma principles, etc. Ashokന്റെ പോളിസീസും റിഫോംസ് ഒക്കെ ഒന്ന് ഭംഗിയായിട്ട് നിങ്ങൾ കവർ ചെയ്യണം. either R. Sharma or our material or NCERT, you cover very well. ഇതൊക്കെ ഫണ്ടമെന്റലി ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻസ് ഫ്രെയിം ചെയ്തിരിക്കുന്നത് NCERTയും R. ശർമ്മയിൽ നിന്നൊക്കെയാണ്, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ മിഡിവൽ ഇന്ത്യ ആണെങ്കിൽ സതീഷ് ചന്ദ്ര, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ നമ്മുടെ മെറ്റീരിയൽ നിന്നൊക്കെയാണ്. അപ്പൊ NCERTസും ബേസിക് ആയിട്ടുള്ള റെഫറൻസ് ബുക്സും നിങ്ങൾ കവർ ചെയ്യുക. അത് മൾട്ടിപ്പിൾ തവണ റിവിഷൻ ചെയ്യുക. ഒരുപാട് റെഫറൻസ് ബുക്സ് വായിക്കേണ്ട ആവശ്യമില്ല.